Hello and welcome back to another video by me, Blute084 Art and Games. And in this video it's going to be a bit of a shorty one because I've made a couple of things out of clay and I didn't show you how to make them this time, but if you want to see them you can go over to my TikTok, which is right there. But in this video I'm going to be showing you how to paint some polymer clay things that you've made. This one here is a magnet and it's going to be made for my one of my friends, and this one here is just something me mucking around to see if I can actually make the blade. If you know this blade, let me know in the comments down below. If you know the symbol and which one these are. This one's Transformers. If you know which Transformer wears this badge, let me know in the comments and you are up for grabs and I will give you one of these or a remake of one of these, because this one is going to be for one of my friends and this one is going to be one of my friends. But I do make things for you guys out there if you're interested. If you've got something that you want me to try and make because you're struggling with it, let me know and I'll get around to making a full video from start to finish. That means from using how to make the core, how to make the details on it, and also how to paint it and make it look good. And that is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be we're going to be painting these ones, but before we can do any of that, we've got to turn the camera down, haven't we? Yeah, so now we've turned the camera down, you can see it a little bit better. Sorry about that, they got this in the way. That is because there's so much light coming from the window there. Let's pop that back there so you can see a bit better because it's very bright. But yeah, I said I'm going to be painting these and showing you how to sort of try and make them looking a little bit realistic. I was going to spray them and I did think, oh, should I do a spray paint? And I haven't got any spray paint, or not the colour that I need. And I had some nice chrome. But I kind of run out of the chrome. It would eventually have looked something similar to this kind of chrome here. A nice shiny look to it. But yeah, that's run out. Because I've made a lot of different things and I didn't realise I'd actually run out of it. If I had, I would have gone and got some more. But yeah, well in this video I'm going to show you how to do the base coat. Then to do the other sort of little details that you want to do. And then we're going to black wash things, make them look like a sort of real. I don't think I'm going to get them exactly real, but I'm going to very much try. And that's what you've got to do when you're doing your artwork. You've got to try. You've got to try everything, and that's what my channel is all about. Try everything. Things from art, from illustrations, digital illustrations, VR artwork, and polymer clay. Lots of polymer clay. I do enjoy making things with my hands. And if you do too, let me know in the comments, what have you made? And if you want to post me things, again, you can come over to my TikTok and post me some stuff over there, videos you've made. Or you can come over to my Instagram and post me direct images of things if you don't want to record a video. So yeah, post them there and you can show me what you've done. But yeah, I'm going to speed a lot of this up because it's just basically putting on paint. But they're going to be going with the base coats. Then we'll be going into next stage and next stage and next stage until we're finished. So let's get some base coat down. What I'm going to use, or paint I'm going to use, is acrylic. You can get different brands. Don't necessarily have to have this brand, but you can find this brand on Amazon if you're looking for just some nice cheap paints to use. This one is quite glossy, so if you want matte, this is a glossy kind of paint. If you want matte type paint, then the best thing to do is shop around really. But make sure that you're getting the right paint for the right things. You don't want to use watercolors. Watercolors will not work for this. And you want to sort of definitely get acrylic and don't use oil paints because you're never going to be able to touch it again if you use oil paints. Trust me, I've tried just to see what would happen. But yeah, we're going to be using these acrylic paints. I like this brand here because it's quite thick pigment too, and it's very good for colouring down your or mixing down your blacks, your grey to a grey, and that's what we're going to be doing now. Making a basic grey. So what you need, I'll move these aside quickly. Move these to the side. What you'll need is get yourself some bit of colour there. I've got a paint tray. You don't have to use a paint tray. I just use a paint tray because I've had one for absolutely years. As you can see, for different projects, it's all covered in paint. I can clean that off, and maybe at the end of this, I'll show you how to clean your paint trays after you've done all the painting that you want to do. So let's splodge a little bit of black. You do not need loads. You do not need loads because black is a very, very high pigment colour, or sorry, shade. Same with white. You need a very small amount of white. to make your grey, because again, white is a very high pigment, and this one is quite thick. Thick paint. This one here is a lot thicker, like I said. This brand is a lot thicker than this brand here. It's quite watery down, but I like a little bit of watery paint because it goes a little bit further and it doesn't leave so many brush lines. Next, you'll need yourself a paintbrush. You can get assorted of different paint brushes. Can't actually show. There we go. You get assorted of different paintbrushes. I've always got old ones. I keep all of my old ones because they're good for mixing and doing different effects, but get yourself some semi-professional. Again, you can find all of this over on Amazon, or if you're going to go to the Hobby Lobby, be prepared that your delivery may be postponed and it might have a few issues with them. Not that they're saying that they're a bad place. Actually, I really like their the way they've set their website out and things like that. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. It's just places I know where to get my stuff, because you can't I don't go to the shops so much anymore because I found some good deals online. But yeah, you need a paintbrush. I'm going to grab some water quickly, so bear with me. Right on. There, we got some water. Water is you'll need some water. That obviously is to wash your brushes off between coats and different colours. If you want to, you're going to be changing colours between each thing. But also you can pour ever so slightly a drop or two into your paint, and that helps water it down a little bit. You want to get that there, and then you want to grab that white, and you start mixing until you got the tone that you want. Now I'm going to go with quite a dark tone to start off with, and then go lighter as I go down. Or should I go it lighter and then go darker? I'm not sure. No, we'll do. There's a bit of hair in there. That's from my beard. That's from an old project. Look at that. That's definitely from my beard. Let's put that there. So yeah, so we've got the paint. You just mix it till you got the right tone that you want. You know what? Add a little bit more. Add a little bit more. You only want to dab it with the black, because black again is a very, very powerful shade, and then you'll go very dark very, very quickly. So just dab a little bit more in there, and as you go, you add your mix in your colour, and you've got your colour that you want, and then you're going to go over to your thing that you're going to be painting. I'm going to move some stuff around, and then we'll get painting. Right on, so now we've got that painted in, and got the base coat. That's only the base coat we're putting on. This is going to take, I reckon this is going to take one more coat, and this will take another one more coat, because it's a little bit watery, but that helps to soak into things. If you can use clay, this is polymer clay that I'm using, but if you're using traditional clay, it is very definitely, you want to water it down, so it soaks into the clay for the first coat, and then you're ready prepped for your second coat. Now you've got two choices whether you can dry. You can leave it dry overnight and then come back to it another day, or leave it for a good couple hours. I wouldn't leave it in the sun or anything like that. Just leave it in a nice airy place where the air can get to it and it will air dry. Or you can get yourself a hair dry and blow dry that. I'm going to I'm going to let this air dry because I've got the other things to be getting on with. So I'm going to leave these air dry, and I'll be back again tomorrow to get these finished. And yeah, we'll see what they look like once they're dry, and then we'll get on with the second coat. Rightio. It has had a full day to dry off. And now I did put an extra coat of grey on both of these. I don't know if you can actually notice that at all, but it's looking kind of finished. Finished as in the sense that that's the grey that I wanted for the blade. I want to paint the skull a bit of white, but try and get it into a bit of a skull, an actual bone skull colour white. I'm definitely going to be painting out the handle here with some brown over that, and I'm deliberating whether I want to do the side. I don't know what they're called. Pummel? Is it that the pummel? No, that's the pummel, isn't it? But these pieces here, do them in black or a darker grey. Or maybe a purple, because this one here, again, this one's had another coat, and you can see where I have painted and where I haven't painted. Where you can see underneath, still see underneath where I didn't give the symbol an actual different colour. I just wanted to give that a one over wash with the grey on the first coat, and the second coat you can see you can't see through that at all now. Where you can see through the thing, and that's the difference between one coat and two coats if you're going to do it in the same colour. But because I'm going to do it in different colours, like I said, purple for this one because it's the Decepticons symbol. So I'm going to try and get that one painted. I'll say try. I'm going to be getting that one painted. The same process as last time. We're going to be mixing up some paint now. So just grab my paint, and again, if you're going to be storing your paint, guys, say if you've got some paint left over from what you were doing, but you want to do it a little bit later, what you can do to stop it from going drying out is I already put a little bit of water in there, but that was just enough so I could mix the paint. Now put an extra little bit of water on top of that, stick it in the fridge, and it will last the whole night. There is no paint obviously here, and that was already dry, but this is all dried out, but that's because I used it up in the evening as well, so I just left it to go dry. Again, I'll show you how to get all of this paint off at the end of the video, so keep tuned if you're a bit, I can't get it off my paint trays, can't get it off whatever I'm painting with, and that technique will work with all the things, but that's in a later video. Now we need I'm going to try and make I'm going to do the purple first because I really want to get into doing some purple. So what colours we need for purple is a little bit of red. Now cadmium red, you don't have to use cadmium, whatever that says to you. I can't read that, but yeah, you got a bit of red, so you splash a bit of red down. Again, you don't need loads because we're not going to be using loads of it, and a little bit of blue. We'll mix those two to make a nice purple. Now I want to get a specific type of purple, so I will pull up a reference very shortly, and I'll try and mix that together. But I'm probably going to need to lighten it down again, so I'm going to add a little bit of white to that one as well. So just a little bit of white, just a little bit, and again, don't forget that water to mix it all with. Just a splash, and you get yourself a paintbrush and you start mixing. If you're going to be mixing, I'd try and only really use an old brush to paint with to do the mixing, which I have none that won't fall apart. So let's use this one. Let's use this one here. I kind of like this brush, actually. It's quite nubby. You get these different brushes as well. I don't know if I actually told you in the beginning part. You get different sizes brushes. They are very important to use different size brushes for different things. Like this handle here, that will need a small thin brush because I want to get in between the lines and I don't want to cover up too much of that grey. Same with the bits here. You don't want to be using a fat brush like that because you're going to get it everywhere. You want to use a smaller one like that, or you can go even smaller with a bit of a longer bristle brush, and that's quite handy for detailed things. But you can go even smaller than that. If I can grab it out here. If I can grab it out. My hand will actually let me grab it. There we go. You can go even smaller like that. So there's your like 3 different grades And it will even go in smaller than that, but that one is hidden from me at the minute. But yeah, the finer you go, the more control, more control you'll have on your detailed things that you'll be painting. Now this works for painting on polymer clay. This works for painting on paper, card, whatever you're going to be painting with. It's if you're going to get yourself some paints, get yourself some different size ones. You don't have to get again, you don't have to get professional ones. You just have to get a paintbrush with different things. Some of the cheap ones are actually pretty good. So have a look around, guys, and see what you can find. I'm going to be using. I'll probably use those brushes actually now. Pull them out, but I'm going to mix this up. So I'm going to wet my brush again. Wet your brush a little bit because it helps with the mixing part of it. And we'll just grab a little red, grab a bit of blue, and we'll start mixing that together. And then you get a purple. That's a nice purple. I'm going to grab a bit more red there, and a little bit more blue. You just keep going, you keep mixing till you get the shade that you want. Now I really like that shade of red. Really like the shade of purple. So, but it's a bit too dark. So I'm going to add just a little smidge of white there. Not too much, because white again is very, very powerful. You can already see that that's lightened that up quite a lot, and I only put a little bit in there. As you can see there, from the difference, you can hold that up there, the difference there between the two different colours. Now I'm going to add a little bit more blue into that, add a little bit more red into that, and try and get that shade that I want. But I did want to lighten it down, so let's scrape some of that off and see what it looks like. That's a nice shade of purple. I'm going to go with that purple. I'm going to get rid of that excess on there, and any excess you scrape off will be used later on. I never ever waste paint, or you can see I've wasted painting. That was because I was doing a big project and I didn't realise that I didn't need as much. Well, that's actually still, no, that's turning the water. But yeah, let's get rid of that paintbrush now. I always put my paintbrush when I finish with it and leave it in the water, because when I get around to cleaning it, it's a lot easier because it's had a lot to soak with. Right, so let's move this over here. And we'll pop some paint on this one, and then we'll start with a little bit of brown. Again, I won't need to show you how to lighten down the brown unless I feel like you need to. But let's speed everything up because this is the boring part. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be I've got a bit of water on there. Helps softens the brush and makes the paint go that little bit further. You don't want to put loads on there, you want to put a little bit on there. Let's grab a little bit of that purple before we speed things up. I'm probably going to need to give this a good couple coats. You want to go over lightly, like that. There you go, now you can see. That's definitely going to need another coat. But let's get all this done, and in the process I'll do that brown and quickly mix up in the video. So keep watching, guys, and I'm going to speed everything up. Right on. So we've got one lick of paint down in there. They're not looking as bright as I want them to. That is only because they've got the first coat of that down. I am going to add a little bit more darkness and detail to the skull on there, because as you can see, let's lift that one up there a bit. That one's just been painted. You can just about see through that paint, so I don't like that. So I'm going to have to give that another little lick over with a bit of white, and I think I'll add a little bit orange, a little bit of yellow into there to give it like a bony sort of colour to it. Add a little bit more detail to that black there. I'm going to probably add a little bit more black on there. Maybe just a little tinge of purple in there with it as well. Not quite sure yet, but I'm going to let these dry. As you can see, you saw me go through the handle. Very gently with that thinner brush, so I could get in between, because I didn't want to paint the grey parts, because I wanted to have that as like a coil of metal or something that's going around there. If you know that blade, guys, let me know. I think I've already told you, but if you do know, let me know in the comments. And there we go with the purple. That one has had a coat and it's starting to dry, which is good, which means I can go over it one more go. I'm air drying this. Again, you can, if you want to speed things up, yeah, you can get yourself a blow dryer, but the weather is just way too hot to even need a blow dryer or hair dryer, whatever you call them, to get it done. Because again, that's not looking great, too bright. So I want to look a little more brighter than that. So I'm going to add a little bit more white to that, to bring out the purple a little bit more, all the brightness out of it. Yeah, but we've got to wait for those to dry a little bit before we can do any more to it, because what's going to happen if you do go over that paint is just going to start bringing the paint up where you painted, and you'll start bringing out the paint away from where you've put it, and then you're basically taking away your first coat. So you don't want to do that. You want to leave them dry. Again, you can use a hair dryer if you want to get things sped up. I'm going to let them air dry because it's nice and warm, and I've got a fan going in the background. So yeah, let's let those dry, and I will show you what they look like after they've had some. Rightio, here they are, all finished off and completed. Let's give you another quick zoom in, or show you a little bit better there. I left the underside the same darkness as it was, because I kind of like the effect that gives it more of a popping out look to it. Same with the inside there. And don't forget, guys, this one is a magnet, and this will stick to the fridge. This is for my friend, so hopefully he will enjoy it. It's also going to be like a car dangle, because he's into his cars. So I thought it'd be something to do on his wing mirror or something like that. But I'll let him decide what he wants to do with it. Or you can put it wherever you like. If you're interested in things like this, and you want something like this for yourself, please let me know in the comments down below. Or you can come over to my TikTok or on my Instagram, and you can privately message me over there if you just want to have a chat about things and how much things are going to cost. Quite reasonably priced, guys. Don't be shy. And if you are a person that's got low money, I do understand, and I'll help you out as best I can for those. But yeah, everything I make generally gives a magnet and stuff like that. Hopefully you like that one. I really like it the way it's turned out, and I really like this one the way it's turned out. I put a little bit of extra. Again, it's a bit dark, a bit light. Sorry. I put an extra little bit of purple from there over the black of that, because it's just a bit too black. I want to give it like a wash to bring out some of the details on there, because now you can really see the little indents I put on the actual arm pieces. I put a little bit of ink, blue, yellow over that, and as I was doing that yellow, you saw me do the skull again. And yeah, I think it really brings out that skull, makes it look a lot like a skull. Again, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, don't forget, please leave me a like. And again, if you're interested in buying or having anything made for this one, if you're interested in having any of the items that are made, or if you've seen anything on the channel, let me know, and we'll talk prices, and we'll talk about if there's something you want particularly made, or if you want it made into a magnet, and something like this made into a magnet, let me know and I'll get that done for you. Otherwise, hopefully you have enjoyed this video, and I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will